I'm looking at the pile of books in front of me and yeah, let's get into this. So since my last haul where I bought 3 books, I believe, or was it 4? I don't actually remember. Since then, I have bought quite a few more books. That haul was last month. It was in March because I bought Sunrise on the Reaping and I ended up picking up a few other books the same day. This haul is kind of this is all the books I've accumulated in April. Maybe some from March that I forgot about, but these are mostly April. I went away to Edinburgh to visit my friend a couple of weeks ago and I came home with about 8 or 9 books. So that was great. That was really great. I'll try and do this in order of like where I got them and like if I bought stuff together, but really it doesn't even really matter because there is currently fifteen books sitting in front of me. But half of these I got for such a good price. Let's get into it. So the first 2 books, I got these together when I was shopping with my mum on Mother's Day. I think I actually talked about these, or I did a little sort of mini haul in one of my, I think it was maybe my reading challenge video, which I'll link below. But I was shopping with my mum and I was in Tesco and they have that little area where they have like a bookshelf of books and it's usually at the end after you've like checked out and you're on your way out. There's usually like a stand and it's books that people have donated that you leave a donation for charity and you can help yourself to them. So I picked up 2 books, one of which I'm currently already reading, more on that later, and I got Richard Cole's Murder Before Evensong and A.T. Qureshi, The Baby Dragon Cafe. I like the Reverend Richard Coles. I quite like him when I see him on TV. I've never read anything by him before. I don't know if this is a series or anything, but I saw it and I thought I would give it a go because I'm kind of interested to see what his writing style is like. I think from what I've seen, I feel like a few of his books are not religious, but set around like a church. So this book is set in a church. There's obviously a murder involved. So I'll be curious to see that, and I'm also curious to see what his writing style is like, but I have not yet read it, but I'm very much looking forward to it. The other book I got, The Baby Dragon Cafe, I was quite excited about it because I thought it sounds like it's going to be like a sort of cute fantasy story, also a love story. So far it's quite, I am reading this one currently. I'm currently doing a reading vlog. I'm currently doing a reading vlog for it. It is a little bit, it's reading a little bit childish to me, which even though I was like, I really want a cozy fantasy book, now that I've been given cozy fantasy, I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm being a little bit stubborn and it's just a little bit, I'm gonna like keep going with it. I'm gonna do my best to try and read it, but it's not quite for me. Not quite. But I literally just threw in a few coins into the donation box. So those books were practically free because coins. The next 3 books I actually just picked up not that long ago actually. It was really like quite recent. I was shopping in town and I went to the charity shop and I picked up 3 books that were all 99p each, and then I believe there was also a sale on, so it was like buy one get one half price. But I got The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I assume it's Foley. I remember wanting to read The Hunting Party and it was sitting in like my Amazon wish list for ages of like, I'd made a list of books I wanted to read and The Hunting Party was one of them, but I never ever got it. And I think this might be something similar. I'm not too sure, but it sounds like it's going to be quite good. I remember thinking The Hunting Party sounded really good. I'm curious to see. It's about murder. It's about old friends, past grudges, happy families, hidden jealousies, 13 guests, 1 body. 1 guest won't leave this wedding alive. Oh, it's a wedding. Okay. So I'm excited. I love, this is more up my street. I also picked up This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. I had been wanting to get my mitts on this book for a long time. And when I saw it in the charity shop, I was like, yes, I want to read this. I've been wanting to read it. I know they did a TV show on it starring, what's his name? Paddington? Ben Whishaw. I haven't seen it. I'd seen bits of it. It looked really, good's not the word to use, but it looked very sad. So I'm quite excited to read this, and I think it'll be really, really good. It's the story of, it is basically, if you don't know, it is the Diaries of a Junior Doctor. It's Adam's story. I'm really interested to see like what it's like working as a doctor, a junior doctor. I'm really curious to read this. I'm quite excited for it. Yeah, so I was so excited when I saw it in the charity shop. And then I also picked up my first ever Jojo Moyes book, The Giver of Stars. I love this cover. I remember when this came out. I have not read anything by Jojo Moyes. I've not even seen Me Before You. I think I would quite like to read Me Before You. I do know the sort of the main story of it from the movie, but I've not even seen the movie. And this one's really floppy. Are you wanting me to read the back to you on any of these books? I feel like there's a lot going on that I don't really need to. I'll read the back on this one to you. The greatest love story is the one you least expect. Alice Wright marries handsome American Bennett Van Cleve, hoping to escape her stifling life in England. Yet she doesn't much care for her domineering father-in-law or the judgmental townsfolk of Baileyville. Restless and misunderstood, she yearns for escape and adventure, finding it in the defiant and unlikely sisterhood who bring books to the isolated and vulnerable of the wilderness. But when her father-in-law and the town suddenly turn against them, Alice fears she'll lose her freedom, friendships, and the chance of unexpected love. Huh. I don't think I read the back of this when I picked it up. I've never read anything by Jojo before, so I'm very excited to get onto that one. Next up, in the same charity shop that I got those 3 books, I actually bought this book a few weeks before I got those ones, and it is The Ghost Ship by Kate Mosse. Would they pronounce that as Moss? I got this for $1.99 in the charity shop, and it is signed by the author, so I was very excited to see that. So I know nothing about this book. However, I know this author came to the book festival that I have in my hometown every year. 2 years ago, it wasn't last year, it was the year before, when the book festival's on and they have authors coming, they push their books, so like they're probably their book that they're coming to talk about, but they'll push them in like the box office bookshop, and I remember seeing it everywhere. Also, there is a band I quite like that is, they live in my hometown but they're not originally from my hometown, but they call themselves the Bookshop Band, and they write and sing songs based on books. They've done ones inspired by The Handmaid's Tale, The Book of Dust, Jane Eyre, some like stories that I didn't know. They did one called From the Ghost Ship, or called The Ghost Ship, based on this book. Their music is really good. They're on Spotify. You should absolutely check them out. They do a concert. Well, they did a concert the last 2 years at the book festival that my friend and I went to, and it's just so good. And I just love their music, and it's the best. It's the best. You need to come visit the book festival because it is just so good. It's so good. A mysterious vessel floats silently on the water. It is known only as the Ghost Ship. For months, it has hunted pirates to liberate those enslaved during the course of their merciless raids, manned by a courageous crew of mariners from Italy and France, Holland and the Canary Islands, and all of them, including their captain, are intent on escaping their past. And now the Ghost Ship is under attack. Its hull splintered, its sails tattered and burned, and the crew at risk of capture. But the bravest among those on board are not who they seem. The stakes could not be higher. If arrested, they will be hanged for their alleged crimes. Can they survive the journey and escape their fate? A sweeping and epic love story ranging from France in 1610 to Amsterdam and the Canary Islands in the 1620s, The Ghost Ship is the 3rd volume. Why does this always happen to me? The 3rd volume in the Joubert family chronicles. It is a thrilling novel of adventure and buccaneering, love and revenge, stolen fortune and hidden secrets on the high seas. Most of all, it is a tale of defiant women in a man's world. I knew it. I knew when they said the bravest among those on board are not who they seem, that they were women. I knew it. Book 3, The Burning Chambers, The City of Tears. This woman has wrote a lot. Women. Chef's kiss. Okay, so it is the 3rd book in a series. I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Let me just have a little look-see underneath. Oh, yeah, nothing. But still beautiful. I love a hardback. It is so pretty and blue, and I love it. And hopefully it'll be okay with the fact that it is a series. I'm excited. I want to read more. I was gonna say like pirate stories, but like water-based stories. Tales at sea, sea shanties, and all that. Moving on to the last stack, which I bought all these books when I went to visit my friend in Edinburgh, and I also very thankfully bought a new suitcase while I was there. Not for these books, it just so happened to buy the new suitcase because I saw it and I liked it, and I was like, I want that for my holidays. But it came in handy when I was then transporting all these home, because I should not be left alone in TK Maxx, because TK Maxx is just too dangerous. So we'll start at the top of the pile and we'll work our way down. First up, I got Lady Chatterley's Lover. I am obsessed with finding these lovely copies of classic novels. My entire classic collection, I have slowly been... The books that I read that I liked, I got from the works, and I paid £3 for them, and I just wasn't a big fan of how they look. They're a bit... I don't even think I have any here to compare. I just wasn't a big fan of how they looked. They were just paperbacks. They were just... like, I only paid £3 for them. So the ones that I really liked, I have been slowly trying to collect a nice new collection of hardback books that I'm not having to like... I'm not breaking the bank to pay for them. The first two that I ever got were Pride and Prejudice and Wuthering Heights, and they were so gorgeous, but they were £20 each, and it was like breaking the bank. Thankfully my mum bought them for me for my Christmas one year, but I just love them and I love the style. I love if I can get a book that looks like it's from an old library, but also it's not like one of those books where the pages are yellow and it's crusty and it's literally falling apart. Like, when I say I want it to look old, but I don't actually want it to be old, if that makes sense. So I've been on the lookout for books like this, where I think it's a gorgeous hardback. I don't know if this is leather bound or what, but it's so cute. I can just picture myself sitting in my little library reading my petite little book. And I normally don't even like people on the cover, but actually I think this is quite cute. But it is a copy of Lady Chatterley's Lover, which I have never actually seen anything about Lady Chatterley's Lover. Like, I sort of roughly know the story, but I've never actually, like, I haven't watched any shows or movies or anything about it. I've not read it before, so I'm quite excited. This cost me £5, it was £4.99. I always labour at the same thing, to make the sex relation valid and precious instead of shameful, and this novel is the furthest I've gone. To me it is beautiful and tender as the naked self. D.H. Lawrence. I wonder if D.H. Lawrence is a man or a woman. Lady Chatterley's Lover explores the intense affair between the sexually frustrated Connie, whose husband Clifford, the big red dog, is paralysed from the waist down, and Oliver Mellors, the family gamekeeper. First published in 1928, the novel challenged the social and sexual taboos of its time and was immediately banned as obscene. Lawrence's last and most famous work of fiction, it was eventually published in full in 1960 to mark the 30th anniversary of the... I can't read the rest of that because the sticker is covered. I think it's on the book. So very excited. I'm curious to see like how naughty it is, if this makes sense. Like, when it was written, considering it was first published in 1928, and obviously it does talk about sexy time and that, I will be curious to see how, compared to like modern books that are literally like the smut, the spice is unreal. I will be curious to see how this book tackles it, not tackles it, but how this book talks about it. Very excited to read it. Absolutely in love with the cover. Next up, following suit, I got this cute copy of Emma for $5.99, which I actually then remembered after I bought it that I also had not long ago picked up a copy of Emma. I paid £6 for it, but this is my other one and this is my new one. So I think this was my first time buying Emma, so you know. This one looks quite nice underneath. Like, this does look like that would be in a old library. But the new one is pink, and it's got a cute little basket on the front, and I love the font, and I love this on the outside, and I think it's gonna look really cute on my bookshelf. I don't really know much about Emma. All I know is that the movie Clueless was inspired by it. And I love Clueless. Next up, and the one that I did actually spend more money on, I got this copy of Little Women. I have not read Little Women. I've seen the majority of the movies, so I've seen the newest one by Greta, what's her surname? Gerwig. I liked it. I think I've seen the majority of it, and then I've seen bits of the one with Winona Ryder, Christian Bale, and whoever else was in it. I can't remember. I also watched one time it was on the BBC, but I think it was an American drama. The girl, oh, what's her name? Maya Hawke was in it. She played Jo. I really enjoyed it. It was a series, and I really enjoyed it. It was the first time I properly watched, like, all the way through A Story of Little Women. But I have not read the book, and I really want to. And it's beautiful. It's pink. I love the flowers. The edges are like a nice peachy color. I'm very excited for this. I feel like I'm just gonna have, I'm gonna have my old classic collection of, like, they look like old timey books, and then I'm gonna have, like, the pink ones. But I'm very excited to read Little Women. Although I do know the story, like, reading the books is just so much better. And another one that I got in TK Maxx. TK Maxx was really pulling out all the stops here. For £4, I got this copy of The Scarlet Letter. I don't really know much about The Scarlet Letter. I know there was that movie, Easy A, where it wasn't a retelling of it, but the book was mentioned a lot in the movie. And at one point, Emma Stone's character puts, like, an A on all of her clothing, which I'm pretty sure is what happens in The Scarlet Letter, or there's something along those lines. So I don't really know anything about it, but this is pretty, and it's purple. It's very cute. I'm loving the flowers. I love it. I love it. TK Maxx was really pulling out the stop for me because, like, what do you mean? Look at how beautiful they are. So beautiful. I'm so excited to display them on my bookshelf. I need to just rearrange everything to make space for them because they're just absolutely gorgeous. Chef's gets all round. The last book that I bought in TK Maxx, but not the last book from this haul because we still have 4 to go, I picked up, now this book was not as pretty as the others, but I saw it and it was only $2.99, and I've been kind of wanting to read it, or I have been wanting to read it, is The Odyssey by Homer. I have been obsessed recently with listening to the Epic the Musical soundtrack by, I've forgotten what that boy's name is. I'm terrible with names, I'm really bad. But I've been obsessed. My introduction was the 4, 5 newer ones that came out just recently, where it was like the challenge and would you fall in love with me again if you knew all I'd done. It was, I still listen to them, honestly. And I've listened to a few of, like, someone made a playlist on Spotify with, like, all of the songs, and I've been listening to it, and I love it, and it made me realise, like, I want to read this book. I want to read this book! So I paid £3 for this. I'm very excited for it. And I will be listening to the soundtrack the rest of the way. And finally, we're on the home stretch. That same day that I bought those 5 books in TK Maxx, I went into the works, and in the 3 for £7.50 section, which it used to be 3 for £5, you're robbing bastards, I picked up these 3 books. They're all thrillers. So I've got The Last Time I Saw Him by Abbot, and Never Lie and One by One by Freida McFadden. I have read The Handmaid's Tale. I have read The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. I still need to read the second one. I do have it, I've just not yet read it. And I really love them. And I've heard good things about the rest of her books. So I've picked up 2 of her books to give it a go, and then 1 book by somebody else. So this one, 3 Strangers, 1 Dead Husband. Celia, I was trying to combine 2 names there. Celia, Juliet, and Nadia. I can't speak. I need to take a sip of tea because I just cannot speak. Celia, Juliet, and Nadia are complete strangers with one thing in common. They have all been wronged by Ellis Cobain, a wealthy philanthropist on course for a knighthood. Ellis's public persona is bulletproof, but lurking beneath this veneer is a sinister side that only the women closest to him have seen. When they meet at a boutique hotel on the Cornish coast, they realise what connects them and form a pact to blackmail him and free themselves from his grasp. But when he is discovered the next morning murdered in cold blood, they are left scrambling. None of them know who did it, and now they must desperately cover their tracks. Will one turn on the others when any of them could be next? Very excited to read this. I love a good mystery. I love a good thriller. So, very excited for that. Then we have 1 by 1 by Freida. 1 by 1 they will get what they deserve. Claire Matchett needs this trip. It will be a break from work and raising children, a chance to repair her damaged marriage, a week of hiking and hot tubbing with friends at a luxurious hotel in the woods, disconnected from the pressures of real life. Then, on a lonely dirt road, Claire's minivan breaks down. With no cell reception, the group has no choice but to walk the rest of the way to their remote accommodation. But the forest is dark and difficult to navigate, and hours later they are lost, hopelessly lost. As they venture deeper into the woods, the members of their party are struck down mysteriously, 1 by 1. Are they being hunted? And by what or who? As Claire's dream vacation descends into a nightmare, something becomes clear. Only one of them will return home alive. Yes. It sounds spooky. It sounds spooky. I want to read this. I can't wait. I'm going to have to read it though in the daylight with the lights on, because there's no way I'm reading that at night because I'll get scared, because I live on my own now. You don't know how scary it is to live on your own in the middle of nowhere and read a scary book. And also Never Lie by Freida. Sometimes the truth kills. Newlyweds Trisha and Ethan are searching for the house of their dreams. They think they've found it when they visit the remote manor that once belonged to Dr. Adrian Hale. Is it pronounced Adrian? It's spelled like the way the female version is, like not Adrian the man. Adrian. It's spelled like the way that the Cheetah Girl. That was one of the Cheetah Girls, wasn't it? Anyway. A renowned psychiatrist who vanished without a trace years ago. But when a violent storm traps them at the estate, the house begins to lose its appeal. Stuck inside and growing restless, Trisha stumbles on a collection of audio transcripts from Dr. Hale's sessions with patients. As Trisha listens to the cassette tapes, she learns about the terrifying chain of events leading up to the doctor's mysterious disappearance. With each tape, another shocking piece of the puzzle falls into place, and a web of lies slowly unravels. But by the time Trisha reaches the final cassette, the one that reveals the entire horrifying story, it will be too late. Can't wait. Love it. I'm so excited. And lastly, finally, the last book that I picked up. I actually got this in a garden centre in Dunbar. While wandering around buying loads of plants, there also happened to be some books. And I picked up this book, which I thought was really, really pretty. And it cost me $3.99. And it is Midnight in Everwood by I cannot pronounce that surname. Kuzniar? I'm not sure. I feel like this is a Christmas story, so I will need to remember this come December. Prepare to be enchanted. Nottingham, 1906. I don't know how to pronounce these names. Mariette? Stell? Oh no. Mariette longs to be a ballerina, but as Christmas draws nearer, her dancing days are numbered, as she must marry and take up her place in society in the new year. But a mysterious new neighbour, toy maker Dr. Drosselmeyer? That name feels familiar. Is that not a character in the Nutcracker? Drosselmeyer. That name feels familiar. But a mysterious new neighbour, toy maker Dr. Drosselmeyer, heralds the arrival of magic and wonder in Mariette's life. After Drosselmeyer constructs an elaborate theatrical set for her final ballet performance on Christmas Eve, Mariette discovers it carries a magic all of its own, a magic darker than anyone could imagine. As the clock chimes midnight, Mariette finds herself transported from her family's ballroom to a frozen sugar palace, silent with secrets, in a forest of snow-topped fir trees. She must find a way to return home before she's trapped in Everwood's enchanting grip forever. A deliciously dark retelling of the Nutcracker. Drosselmeyer is in the Nutcracker, I'm so sure. It sounds really lovely and I want to keep it for Christmas, obviously, but it does sound really, really cute. And I just absolutely love the... What colour is this? Because I feel like it's gold, but no, it's bronze. It's bronze, that's what it is. Forgot my colours. The bronze with the dark blue is just absolutely beautiful. I love the cover. I'm very, very excited to read that as well. So there we go. Those are all the books that I read. Not all the books I read. Girl, scamming. These are all the books that I bought in the last month. 15 of them. 15. I really know how to be a good book dragon. I need to just be a better bookworm. Let me know if you've read any of these books mentioned. Let me know if some of them sound interesting to you. And as always, feel free to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Laura_loves_books. I also have a TikTok called Just a Dreamer too. And I will see you in my next video, whatever that may be. Hopefully it'll be me talking about how I've read some of these books, because I'm just staring at this pile and I'm like, what have I done? I don't even have space for them.